Hey there, so glad that you were here. I'm Priscilla. Welcome to The Chat. We get an opportunity to chat about a lot of stuff around here that's going to be hopefully very, very exciting to you. I think today is going to be very exciting. If it's not exciting for you, it's exciting for me. I'm glad to be here because we get to talk to one of my favorite people on the planet. And let me just tell you, she's not only my favorite because she has brought so much light and love and beauty through music to millions of people all over the entire world. She's beautiful because behind closed doors, when the spotlights aren't on her, she's just a woman of humility and integrity who loves her family and loves the Lord and really believes what she proclaims when a lot of people are around. That's what I love about CeCe Winans. Today we're going to be talking to her. Stick around. You are not going to want to miss this. Hey, hey! Welcome to The Chat. Pull up a chair, get a nice hot drink or something like that, and just kind of snuggle up with us for just a little while. We've been already having a conversation that I hope that you've already seen. It's part one of a conversation we've been having with the lovely Miss CeCe Winans. Will you help me welcome her? If you have not already seen part one, please make sure that you see it. We're on every Tuesday and Thursday this month. This is part two of that conversation we've already been having. She's been giving us advice on being a wife and being a mom, balancing it all, loving the Lord with all of our hearts and minds and strength. And we want to talk to her now about the next generation because she's got a passion for the next generation. Why? Why is that so important to you?
Why? Because it was so important that the generation before me had me in mind, you know, and I know that I've been able to stand through all of life challenges because of what was instilled in me as a child. The importance of Sunday school, the importance of hearing the Bible stories, the importance of camp, Christian camp, all of that stuff. Played a very important part in my foundation. And I think I realized who I was earlier on in life because people took out time to teach me who I was.
And so, these are people, your parents included, but would you say that there were other older women other than your parents?
Definitely. I think any parent that has been a parent for any length of time understands that you need help. Yeah. You know, and
that whole village mentality.
Exactly. It takes a village to raise a child is so true. And so, yes, definitely the people in the church, the other ladies, the other young women, the teenagers. I mean, everybody poured into us, me and my siblings growing up, and it made a huge difference.
Don't you think we've lost that village mentality, though? It's like everybody, you almost can get in trouble if you tell another child, hey, you know what, don't talk to your parent like that. Be more respectful. Then the mama's mad at you because you said something to her kid.
And you're helping out.
Yeah,
we have lost it, but we need to get back to it. I think a lot of our kids are suffering because we've lost that.
And do you think that maybe, you know, I've always thought that maybe that is one of the reasons why the church is so important, because that is the extended family that God gives you to help to raise the next generation.
Totally agree. It is definitely our extended family, and it's so important that the church realizes that even though we have mega churches, and that's a great thing because we want everybody to be saved, you know, Jesus paid the price so that everybody could live, but it is not to be anything other than a family, and it's real important that we understand that it's not just an organization, or it's just not
it's not a business.
Yeah, it's not a business, it's a family.
Yeah, we're not there to perform.
Right.
It's for us to have community.
Yeah,
that's
community.
Good. Yeah. What are some of the things you would think that, well, you know, you mentioned that your mama made you sing.
Yeah.
Mom and Pop Winans said, get up there on
that
that
there,
stage.
You're going to sing.
Did you have to take piano lessons too, I wonder?
No, I didn't. I never took piano lessons.
You never took piano?
I think every other sibling except for my baby sister, you know Debbie, we don't play.
You don't play? I'm surprised they didn't make you do that too.
No. Well, you know, actually all of us at that time, we weren't even taking lessons. Okay. Most of my siblings learned how to play by ear.
Just a musical family.
Yeah, my mom and dad both played.
Really?
But the gift just passed my hands.
That's okay. It all went into your throat. Okay, so they made you do certain things. They made your siblings do certain things.
Definitely.
What do you think are some of the things that parents aren't making their kids do anymore?
Well, they made us go to church.
Okay, there's one of them.
We had to be at Sunday school. We had to, YPWW, the youth things. We had to attend. They made us not just attend, but we had to be involved. Like you said, we had to be in the choirs and. Yes, they made us volunteer for everything, but they understood the importance of that. And they raised us all in the inner city of Detroit, Michigan, which was not an easy task. So they made us do that. Let me see, the only thing we could listen to in our house was Christian music. We used to sneak and listen to Motown music in the car, but they said, no, this is what you guys are going to be raised in this. You're going to hear this. And then they lived the life in front of us. They just didn't teach us, but they lived it in front of us, which was definitely the most impactful thing. But yeah, they did not play. We had no choices.
Your parents were strict.
Very strict, very strict, but not to the point where it was too strict, but they were strict. Yeah.
We've lost some of that, I think.
Oh, we've lost a lot of that.
I feel like children are setting the pace for the home instead of the parents setting the pace for the home. And not, I just don't want to put that as a blanket statement over everyone, but it seems like we have a culture where
most of us. I'm guilty of that. And, a lot of times we grow up and we feel like, oh, they were so strict in this and so strict in that, especially before you get old enough to really, the wisdom kicks in.
Yeah, right.
You think, oh, I'm going to allow my children to do this, and they can choose if they do that. And I have to admit that those places that I was a little bit more easy, those places that I kind of loosened the rein a little bit, I regret.
Oh, with your kids?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, can you give us one example? Can you think of anything specific where you kind of loosened the reins a little bit and you wish that you hadn't? Anything come to mind?
I just think, if we just take them going to church. I made mine go to church, but I didn't make them really get involved in church.
So not just being there, but participating.
Exactly, participating. Because nowadays, what do we spend most of our time doing, parents? Where they're in dance class, they have this class, they're in all the sports. And where is the Bible study in all of this? And before you know it, they're full of more of the world than the church, but yet you're a believer. Yet you consider yourself a strong believer. And it's like, where did I go wrong? Oh, you didn't do what your parents did in this area. You thought you were going to be more of their friend than their parent, and it's backfiring on you.
So do you think that we tend to overcompensate for what we thought our parents didn't do right or did a little bit wrong? Kind of overcompensate the other way. So if you had to go back and do that again with your children, you would just be stricter?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
They would be upset with me. But it would be okay.
It would be okay?
Yes.
So we need to be okay with our kids being upset with us?
Definitely. If they're not, something's wrong. They should be upset with you. Yeah.
What discourages you when you look at teenage girls, young 20s, maybe even young women who want to do what you were doing? So they have a good heart, they are skilled, they're talented, they love the Lord, but still you see a little discouragement in what way with some of the younger women you see coming along after you?
I would say that they don't have the passion just for knowing the Lord. Growing up, to me, that was everything. I could cry thinking about it. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to make it through. And so that breaks my heart. They don't really understand the value in just being a believer. For some reason that doesn't seem to be enough. And so that lets me know that they don't have the relationship that they should have, because whenever you have that relationship in the place that it should be, it's more than enough.
And it takes the striving out, the trying to achieve.
Yes, it makes life so much better.
Yeah,
so
you
much
can relax
easier.
and rest in it.
Yes, you can. You can, and you can have joy. And when they don't have that, they're missing joy. They're missing happiness. They're so bogged down, and they're dealing with so much depression, and it's hard to find people with a smile on their face. Young girls that when they should be enjoying their lives at the fullest at this time. A lot of sadness.
what encourages you when you look at young women?
You.
Oh, thank you. Am I still young? I'll take that.
You're very young, yes, but I could cry over that too, because like we talked about earlier in part one, I have a daughter that's 26, and for her to be able to see you is a blessing.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a gift to me, because
again,
I just remember her being so little and running around your legs, and so to hear that is a blessing to me. That's kind of like my gift to you. To be able to be a blessing in your daughter's life.
See,
I love
and so it just goes from generation
a cycle, isn't it?
To generation. Yes, it is a cycle.
Change the world for one.
Change the world for one.
Change the world for one.
Orphans don't need stuff. Orphans need families. Join me, Stephen Curtis Chapman, and Show Hope as we help provide orphans with forever families.
What makes you, you've told us why you're passionate about pouring into the lives of younger women.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think keeps some women that are in your generation from seeing the value in taking time to just literally disciple a younger woman? Like, there are a lot of older women that aren't doing the Titus 2 thing.
You're right.
They aren't. You know, Titus 2 talks about older women pouring into the lives of younger women, which means there has to be a younger woman willing to listen,
That's
number
true.
one.
That's true.
And,
That's true.
and
But
being
you have a
teachable.
lot. Yeah, that's true.
But there also has to be a woman who has gone before that sees the value in going out to coffee with this younger woman and helping her with her family and how to love her husband. And sometimes there aren't women to be found that are willing to do that. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know what? I'm so glad that you brought that point up, because it's a very important point. A lot of us as believers, we just become professional believers, you know, and we're so wrapped up in our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go to church, oh, it was so good, or we heard a message, it was so great, and then the next week we're down again, or we forget what we heard. And I think it's primarily because we haven't poured out, and we haven't poured out what we've learned and what God has put into us into somebody else. And I can't really take the credit for the mentoring that I've done over the years. I think because of where God placed me on stage, you know, and I met wonderful ladies like you and different people that would ask me certain questions. Then I started pouring out, but it wasn't like it was something that was really taught to me to do. And so I think we as the body of Christ, the churches, the pastors, we have to begin to teach that scripture in Titus, that the older women teach the younger women, and the importance of that, because really that adds to your growth.
Yes.
That's a part of your life going
Yeah.
to another level
Yeah.
that a lot of us are missing out on because we haven't taken out the time. And we as women, older women, we really need to look at our schedules and say, who am I pouring into? And realign your whole life to fit that in, because it's that crucial, not just for somebody else, but for you.
Okay. I love something that you just said a few moments ago, but you said that it was because you weren't like trained to be a mentor. It's
Right.
just younger folks just started asking you questions.
Exactly.
So I think that it's kind of like gives permission for younger women to start pinpoint an older woman in your church or in your neighborhood or in your life that you go,
Yep.
you know what, she has done life well, and then go ask her questions. Go put yourself in front of her and say, how did you do this? How do you make that meal for your family every night and get it on the table on time? How do you
Right.
do that?
How do you do it?
And
Ask
then,
questions.
And then
That's
it stirs
right.
you up to have to answer them.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I love that. We love
That's
that you
right.
answer them.
Because when you see those faces in front of you, it's like, oh, okay.
Yes.
You know, you have to do it, and it's a joy. It's been a joy of mine to do. So I think that all of that plays into what we do today as well.
I want to ask you about one younger woman in your life. Her name is Bobby Christina.
Yes.
She has had a lot happening in the past few years of her life with the loss of one of your closest friends, I know, Miss Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Tell me first how that was for you, just that tragic loss of a legend, and then how you've been able, because you're her godmother, Bobby Christina's
Yes.
godmother, right? So what kind of role that you kind of play in her life now?
Just praying a lot.
Yeah.
Praying for her. It was just what you said. It was a tragic loss for me, and I can't even imagine what it was for Bobby Christina. You know, we were dear friends and sisters, Whitney and I talked to her that week before she passed, and I was just calling to check on her, and she was on her way to California, and so I got the news from my daughter. She was in New York visiting a friend and saw it on the press. Saw it in the press and called me crying and, Mom, is it true? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I just told her, no, it couldn't be true. I just talked to her, you know. And unfortunately, I found out it was true. And so yeah, it was a real loss for me. You know, I didn't plan for things to turn out this way. You know, but God has been faithful through it all. You know, and so now my prayer for Bobby Christina is just that God will begin to mend her broken heart. You know, and so I just want everybody, every woman out there, to just really begin to pray for her. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have an organization that is designed to reach out to the younger generation. And we've been talking a lot about women, younger women, but also to young men as well. And tell us about that organization and how it got started and what you're doing with it these days.
Well, it's called Always Sisters, Forever Brothers. And it started out really as Always Sisters. It was just for teenage girls. And after the first conference, the mother was like, what are you going to do for our sons? I was like, I don't know.
Nothing.
But I have a son and a daughter. And so we did a couple of years with just the girls, and then we added on the guys as well, because then I figured out, you know, we can't just get the girls together and we don't have the guys together. And so it's been a joy of mine to do this. And it's just a conference we do, like a 2-day conference. And I bring in incredible speakers and singers to mentor, to teach people, to teach the younger people. And it's been great. Lives have been saved, lives have been changed and redirected, and kids have been put on the right path. They understand their value, you know, after leaving the conference. And that's really my prayer, is that it would be an event that would really bring in lasting results.
I want you to know that we're going to put her website up so that you can see it right there on the page that you're watching this program, but you'll want to go to alwayssistersforeverbrothers.com. You want to go there because you can support that ministry that really is reaching out to the next generation and just be a part of what Miss CeCe is doing in blessing people that are coming along behind her. And so are these people that are necessarily interested in music, or this is not for folks that are involved in music?
For everybody.
Okay.
Definitely a lot of people show up that love music. But I mean, we've had kids to come and tell us, this is my last resort. If this doesn't work, then I'm committing suicide. I
Really?
mean, yeah, just that bold. And I'm happy to say that God is faithful every time, you know. And so yeah, literally saving lives. Yeah, so it's just for any child who wants to come. Some kids are doing great, and it's just going to encourage them to continue to serve God. Some kids come in, have never heard a sermon before in their life, and they end up giving their lives to the Lord. And so it's been amazing.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
very
good.
rewarding.
What would you say was the number one most impactful lesson that an older woman in your life taught you, other than your relationship with the Lord? That being aside, we know that
Okay.
would be the most important. But
Okay.
like a practical lesson that really mattered to you, maybe once you got into your 20s, or maybe you got married or had a kid and you were like, oh yes, I remember what this woman told me. It really has made a difference.
It's so funny. You guys are gonna laugh. It would have to be my mom.
Okay.
My mom taught me this lesson. And to this day, no matter who you are or what you're going through, if it's a marital problem, and you come to her and you can be so emotional and so distraught,
Okay.
her response is going to be, honey, he's a man.
What does she mean by that exactly?
He's a man.
He's a man.
Yeah, and for me, it was, as women, we love to turn our husbands into what we think they should be. We want them to be like us.
Yep.
And that's not God's plan, and it will never happen that way. They're going to respond differently, and they're supposed to.
Okay, single women, listen up. I hope you are listening right now.
So
the way
mom
he is
whining,
right
she'll
now.
be just as cool no matter what it is. Mom, but you don't understand. Honey, he's a man.
So no matter what the issue is.
No matter what the issue is, calm down. Choose to be peaceful. Choose to be victorious.
Yeah.
And choose to allow the Lord to work it out.
Yeah.
Because we can go through all the fits and all the emotional ups and downs, and it's not going to change anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that is a lesson for single women.
Yeah,
because
that's a huge
the man
lesson.
that you
Single
married right now,
And married, yes.
you're not going to say I do, and then there's a magical change on the other side of it. That's who he
That's
is. And
who
people
it is.
grow and mature and all that
Of course,
stuff.
of course, we all improve.
Yes,
right?
but the basic framework is right there.
It's right there. Yeah.
He's just a man.
it.
Okay, I've got
Yeah.
something else for you. Your sister told me of something that your
Oh,
father
Lord.
used to tell you guys, and I actually wrote this down because I'm like, this is good. And my husband
Don't
actually
tell
said
it.
it to somebody this week. I was like, yeah, we're going to use that. He said anytime y'all would all get off stage or anything and you'd been singing or anything, people are saying how wonderful you are. You already know what I'm going to say?
I think I do.
He would come up behind you and say, get that praise off of you. That praise don't belong to you.
Exactly.
I
It's not-
love that,
it
though.
doesn't
It's
belong
just
to you.
constantly reminding you that praise is not yours.
It's not yours. It's not
That
yours.
praise
And,
belongs
and
to
another
the Lord.
saying he used to tell us is that if you got prideful, you're going to go down like the Titanic.
Oh, if you get prideful,
Yes,
you're going
after
down
pride
like the
comes,
Titanic.
After pride comes a fall.
That's good.
And so, get the praise off of you. Yeah, you're right. It's not about you. Yeah, he kept us balanced.
He kept you balanced. What is your last question? Well, maybe a couple more.
No, that's okay.
What is your, I don't know any other way to put it. Someone from the audience asked me about this one. What is your life song? Like, not necessarily a particular song that is on a
song.
record of yours, but what is the theme of your heart? Or maybe it is the name of a song that really encapsulates all that matters most to you.
He's faithful.
He's faithful.
Yeah.
He is faithful. isn't
God
he?
is faithful. He's just been faithful. Every stage of my life, he's been faithful.
Yeah.
Throughout all my failures, he's been faithful.
And that is a song you recorded, isn't it?
I didn't record. Somebody else recorded
Do you
a song
know it?
called "He's Been Faithful."
Yes. Do you know
He's
it?
been faithful.
So just sing a
Something
little
like
bit of
that.
it.
No,
Just
no, I really don't.
sing a little bit of it.
Don't even
CeCe.
try it. Don't even.
Okay. Pick any
Great
song and
is
sing
thy
a little bit of it.
faithfulness.
Okay, sing a little bit of it. Come on now.
Oh God.
Just a little piece,
Only
a couple of
Priscilla.
bars.
Watch the people you mentor. Watch them. Let me see. You got to sing with me. I don't want to mess up. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. I love it.
That's what we were waiting on. We love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love that you came and sat down on our sofa and just let us pick your brain a little bit.
I got a chance to chat with Priscilla.
Yes. I'm so grateful to you. And
Love you.
again, I want to direct you to her website because you're going to want to find out all the Miss CeCe is doing. Of course, you can catch her singing in different places, various places all over the world. You'll want to make sure you continue to support her ministry. There are very few people that have had this much longevity. I mean, when you think about it, sometimes some people are kind of like one-hit wonders and they've got this song that maybe lasts a little while. But there are very few people that you can see over decades have continued to be just who they are in the body of Christ and who they are in their craft. She's just skilled in her craft. And so we're so grateful that she's come and been with us today. Thank you for joining us too. It's been so much fun. Would you please help me to thank Miss CeCe Winans?